Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And doing a couple paid requests for Malivore, who sent in a few of them. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, tier lists, rankings, video game playthroughs, whatever the case may be, you can feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal, to have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And this is for the Brotherhood. No, the Blood. I see. Here's what's weird about this. It's called the Bloodhound, but every time I kept thinking it was called the Brotherhood. So he told me the title was the Bloodhound. Then I looked up the film and I kept thinking Brotherhood. And then as I'm watching the film, I'm like, why does this person talk about this thing called the Bloodhound? I'm like, oh, because the movie's called the Bloodhound. And even here, I wrote notes. I wrote the Brotherhood, what is called the Bloodhound, because the Brotherhood were kind of, they mentioned the Bloodhound and what it is, but to me, the way they put it in there, I'm like, this seems so fucking pretentious, and I guess I get what they're going for, but it's hoity-toity, smell your own fart, think it's art type of thing. That if you like it, that's cool. There are films that do that, have done that kind of stuff better, in my opinion, in terms of execution, or writing, or just flat out delivery of that message. To me, the Brotherhood, that actually would make more sense as a title, because it's about these. It's a kind of a loose adaptation of the fall of the House of Usher. It's about these two guys who were friends for a while, haven't seen each other for a while, and like kind of the brotherhood, that type of needing a friend, not want to be lonely. There's other aspects as well. Well, not a whole lot of aspects, because not a whole lot of fuck all happened in this movie. And I can see why it gets a 4.9. It's one of those weird things where on IMDb, if you look up user reviews, they're high, but then it gets a 4.9. I'm like, I get why it's a 4.9, because it's boring as shit of a film. It's pretty fucking boring. So I have to remember, that'd be funny if I once again screw up and I put the Brotherhood as the title. Anyway. The way the film starts off is someone is crawling out of this water and goes into a closet. No explanation. Well, there's kind of explanation, but it's supposed to be not literal. It's supposed to be... I'll get to that. So anyway, this guy named Francis, he's invited to stay at his buddy's place. JP. JP is this guy who's a bit out of it. He's rich. He's got this fancy looking place. And you can tell that, I don't know if I say he's childlike, but he acts a bit fucking weird. And it's like, oh, this could be like a sleepover where we haven't seen each other for a while. It's like what we used to do back in the day and have sleepovers. And the whole thing has this, trying to have this weird vibe. I don't know if it's trying to have like a Twin Peaks David Lynch vibe or something. I don't know. Because when they meet, JP, Francis, JP, Francis, JP, Francis. They repeat each other's names as JP, Francis, JP, Francis. I did your fucking names. Have you ever met, even if it's been a long time, like I have a friend named Fabio. If I met him in person, because we've talked a lot, streams, YouTube, Fabio, Matt. Hey Fabio, Matt. Hey Fabio, Matt. one of us would be going, is the other fucking high? Or are you on something? Or did we hit our heads? Bump our fucking heads on something? Do we have brain damage? What the fuck's going on? So maybe on purpose trying to have this weird fucking vibe, but it just comes off as just either unintentionally funny or just, to me, I don't know, this is fucking stupid. I want to turn the movie off right now. This is fucking dumb. Because it just seems goofy and weird just to be goofy and weird. Just no one has ever talked like that. I thought Malivore said this had something to do with A24. I don't know if it does. Because I think actually Arrow Films released this. So I know them more as a distributor of Blu-rays and 4Ks. Not releasing films, but it feels like something A24 would have released if Arrow Films didn't. Unless A24 did. Or maybe that's what he was saying, he had an A24-like vibe. Which he's right about that. So JP has a twin sister, and he talks about how Frances, you can't talk to her. Like, he makes these things where Frances can't ever see her, so you know something's up. Also, if you know the story of the fall of the House of Usher, you get kind of an inkling of where it's going anyway. Frances is not doing well financially, so JP says, well, you can live here, and I'll move you stuff here. Pretty much says that without even talking with him first. And then just a couple strange things happen. When I say a couple, the good thing I'll say is this is a short film, like an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 11 minutes, with credits. I'm like, thank God for that. During the middle of the night, he sees the twin sister and she goes, leave or you'll die like the rest. I don't think that's ever explained as to what the fuck that was about. Because obviously he didn't leave, and obviously he didn't fucking die. He was so. Then he walks, and JP comes out. And they find liquid on the floor, and oh, you wet yourself. I'm like, well, someone did. And then when Frances wakes up, JP acts like nothing happened. So either JP is lying about it and thinks Frances will just forget about it, or Frances for some reason had a weird dream about someone pissing themselves. Or JP's lying because he's lying about his sister. There's a scene where they both get in sleeping bags and wrestle with each other. I'm like, did people fucking do that even when they were kids? Put sleeping bags and you can't see and you just wrestle each other? I have never, ever, ever heard of anyone ever fucking doing that. Unless you're psychotic. And the thrust of this fucking bullshit, JP is lonely. JP just seems like a very lonely guy and just desperately needing a friend. But he just comes off as weird, and so weird that I'm like, I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to get the fuck out because maybe you will die. JP talks about how he has these dreams and something about the Bloodhound, this figure that will enter your house and be afraid until tenderness among people in the house, forgiveness. This is like the gist of what I'm trying to get about this whole story. So like when this figure's here, people are afraid, and if there's tenderness and friendship and forgiveness, then the thing will leave. And I guess it's both like we see this physical thing enter at the beginning, at one point leave to go to the fridge and eat something and come back. Or maybe that was his sister the whole time, but I didn't really get that. Or the film did a shit job explaining that fact. I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care at this point. Then at one point they're watching porn. I think JP filmed the porn there. And then JP starts touching Francis's dick and gets slapped. And then JP gets mad. I'm like, yeah, you fucking touched this guy without his permission. If, okay, you're a guy, whoever's out there, and let's say you're straight, and if a friend or whoever touched your dick, okay, I'm friends with Michael Teen, Michael CP, Efrey, Fabio. If I sit next to them and for some reason I just like grab their dick, they don't punch me in the face, and I would deserve it. And also, I probably punch myself in the face because I'm like, why would I do that? I must have some fucking brain damage because I have nothing against people who are gay. It's just that's not who I am, and why would I do that? And there must be something wrong with me personally. And same with, especially if you're doing it without permission. But then the other guy gets pissed about it. Like JP gets pissed. Why are you so mad that I touched your groin without your permission and molested you without your permission? Why are you so mad? That's like his demeanor. I'm like, the fuck do you figure? Right then and there, the guy should have left. Francis. Like, this guy just tried to touch my balls. Well, did. Without my permission. Then there's one point where the food delivery guy comes, and JP's like, you're 40-some minutes late. Or, you came here, it's been 45 minutes. The other guy's like, no, it's been 35 minutes. So then JP tries to strangle, but it's the most pathetic, sluggish, slow motion, like, eh. Okay, imagine this is the delivery guy. Today, Junior. JP's like this slow. Like, that's slow. Also, I don't understand why the delivery guy didn't try to call the cops. Hey, this guy tried to strangle me, or threaten it at least. Maybe because the guy was so pathetic and slow and weak in his struggle. So when Francis pulls him off and then gives the delivery guy the money, the delivery guy's like, yeah, this guy ain't fucking worth it. I'm not even going to complain about it. I've had hummingbirds whisked by me that made more of an impact. And why does the lead guy Francis have no facial expressions? He has no facial expressions at all. The whole movie, no matter, is like, that's it. No facial expressions. I have no fucking idea why. And yet the figure at one point went into the fridge and then also stole the money, including the pizza money. Again, I don't know if that was supposed to be the sister who did that, or that was JP doing it unconsciously, or what the fuck? I don't know. Or there really was this physical thing that came out of the water and just stole their shit and food for. What's he need money for? To hitchhike to get to a better fucking movie. And then maybe this scene was supposed to have tension, but it had none. Where Francis goes to the vault. Hey, can you let me out of the vault? And they talk a little bit. Well, I guess I gotta let you out. And then there's a pause. And okay, just hit these buttons. And then he comes out of it. So, I mean, it was... If it was trying to have tension, and they didn't do a good job with it. You just get consistent array of bullshit, dull, boring conversations. You find out JP's sister's dead, and I'm trying to listen. I'm like, well, okay, well, how did she die, and what happened, and how did this all come about, and what? How long has she been dead? Well, she's not the sister because, well, that thing wasn't the sister because then a few scenes later, JP, I guess, couldn't take it anymore, and I guess killed him. I don't even know how he killed himself. Lying beside his sister. And then we see the thing come out of the closet and leave the place. So I guess like the Bloodhound, and even though it was talking about how tenderness and forgiveness, and but it fucking left. Guess he's like, well, I ain't gonna find shit in this house. I don't know. Maybe he needs to know someone to give more pizza money. He needs to steal more pizza money from somewhere. I don't fucking know. So Francis is left with the money, and he's left with a letter. Now you'll know what it's like to have everything but not a friend. Well, let me tell you something. You could probably, if you need a friend that badly, you probably pay some friends. They're called hookers. They're called whores. You could. I mean, if you're rich, you probably pay for a hooker, and she. Also, there are these things called there's this thing called the internet. I mean, if you're rich enough that you could be by yourself on a computer, you could maybe make some friends. Go to, make some YouTube videos, maybe. I mean, to have everything and not a friend. Well, you could go make friends, That'd be funny. Francis like, fuck you, buddy. I got a ton of friends. Pulls out the phone. Hey, I got this rich fucking place, and I'm rich, bitch. Come on over. Goddamn, man, I haven't seen you in a while. What happened? Yeah, I went to see this guy, but then he went all weird and crazy with his curly hair and said, hey, stay here for a bit. And I'm sorry I didn't have time to talk to you, but it's been a busy, I don't know, it's been a month, weeks, who knows. Oh, shit, man. Okay, where you at? Over here. Okay, it's a party. It's a house party. The characters are just... You can't relate to them. They don't behave like normal people would. Francis has barely reactions to anything. Most of the time his face is neutral. JP just comes off as a fucking weirdo. The sister, we know very little information about her. Forgive me if I missed critical information throughout the dialogue, but they were so goddamn dull and boring and lifeless, it was hard to pay attention to. Because it wasn't captivating, it wasn't interesting to me. So I don't know if they said why the sister was this, or how she died, or whatever the fuck. It's a loose adaptation of Fall of the House of Usher, but they add this Bloodhound thing. I don't even know why, because I don't think that really added much to anything. Wasn't it for the House of Usher? Okay, the sister died and he buried her in a crypt or something. Then he found out she was still alive. Broke out, which frightened the other guy, the brother, to death. And then maybe she died or something. I don't know. It's been forever since I read snippets of that story. So I might have gotten some of the details wrong. But there was one article saying, oh, this is one of the better Edgar Allan Poe adaptations. I'm like, it is? Then damn, Edgar Allan Poe hasn't been done right in a lot if this is considered one of the better ones. So good, it gets a 4 point. I mean, yeah, there are films I like that gets low ratings on IMDb, so that doesn't automatically mean anything. But it's also, there's the other side of the equation. There's the other side of the door. Because the door swings both ways. Also, yeah, 4.9, I would give it fucking lower. Because it was a boring, nothing burger of a fucking movie. Again, they should have added one more scene where Francis picks up the phone. Be like the teaser if you watch Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise. We're back! And then all the people come out of the woodwork. They have that music. Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds. It's a fucking house party, you know. But it's one of those where even at an hour and 10 minutes, it's leisurely paced. And there's really not much of a payoff. That's the thing. If you want to do a slow burn, you gotta give a good payoff. What was the payoff here? The sister's lying dead. I don't really know how she died there. Francis leaves, comes back looking for JP. Then JP's lying dead next to the sister. Then talks to the cops, gets the letter. You know what it's like to have everything but not a friend. And I'm like, it's not necessarily true. Was it ever said Francis didn't have any other friends? He went to see this guy because it's been a while. But who's to say he never had friends back where he stayed at? Or again, you can make new friends, especially in this day and age of the internet. You could try, I mean, I don't know. You didn't get it. Good, I don't have to get it. Just like I don't have to get the fucking STDs. But you fuck this movie. The Bloodhound. I swear to, I was just about to say the Brotherhood. The Bloodhound. Fucking dumbass movie. Boring as shit. I can see why I had never heard of this fucking movie before. We will... I got nothing else to say. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.